AskReddit Storytime. Please like and subscribe. If you are struggling, and need someone to talk to, call the Samaritans on 116-123. What is something someone said to you that hit you the hardest? If it's between saving $100 or going to that movie or concert or festival you've always wanted to go to, just go. A year from now you won't remember where that $100 went, but you'll sure as hell remember that memory you made with it. I'd his exact name, but he's a comedian and his name is Josh. So there. To add another, did you have a bad day? Or did you have a bad 5 minutes you held on to for the rest of the day? Edit. Oh, if glad so many people enjoyed those quotes. I've kept them close for a time and they really drive home their own respective messages. And to those who identified Josh Wolf, thank you. He's a great comedian and what an insight. Cheers. You just feel like a chore now. I said this to a good friend of mine once when we were living together, and instantly regretted it when I saw the genuine hurt in his eyes. Granted, he was in the depths of alcoholism at the time and had seriously pissed me off and tested my patience, but it still wasn't a productive thing to say, and I saw such true, shocked hurt in his eyes that I stopped the argument right there and started processing his reaction with him out loud. He is healthier and off the booze now, thank God. It doesn't matter if you hit a home run or strike out, I'll always be your #1 fan, my grandpa, when I was going through a very rough time. Not said directly to me, but I overheard some guys on my track team talking whack about me. They didn't know I was standing there. They weren't even friends of mine, but I was doing very well on the team that year and earned a spot on the varsity team, which is something that had never happened to me before. These guys were saying I didn't deserve to be there, and that really screwed me up, as I'm a pretty shy, quiet guy and usually don't elicit that kind of reaction out of people. I coach cross country and track. And I will tell you that the beautiful thing about our sport is there aren't politics in it. You perform, you succeed. Period. There isn't any of Johnny getting more play time because his parents are huge donors, or Jessie starting the game because she's dating the coach's kid. There's no hiding your talent or your weakness among your team like you can in the other sports. If you were on varsity, it's because you earned it. No other reason. My mom once told me when I was a teenager that it took a lot of courage to take your own life, and you could do a lot with that courage instead of killing yourself. Edit. Posted this late last night and then proceeded to have a mess of day due to random bad luck, so thanks for the golds and silvers, kind strangers. For those struggling to understand what she meant, I don't think my mom meant to say suicide was a courageous act that should be looked upon with admiration. As others here have commented, if you have the courage to die, you have the courage to live. I think she meant to convey that we all have a lot of potential and we all have something to offer, even if we can't see it during the dark times. My father had been diagnosed with cancer a month after he retired, and as Frank Turner said, his weather forecast wasn't looking too good. I had 4 kids aged 12 and under and was trying to get a new business off the ground, and didn't have much time to see him. One Saturday, my sister and mother, who had been providing the bulk of the caregiving, asked me to come for a few hours so they could do some shopping, and clear their heads a bit. I spent the afternoon, and told him I was sorry I hadn't been to see him much. He told me your wife and daughters are your family now, and they have to come first. Any time you have for me is appreciated, but never felt bad about making your family the priority. I've carried that with me over the past 14 years, and I always fall back on that when there are conflicts for my time and attention. You can be the sweetest peach on the peach tree, but not everyone likes peaches. My team sergeant was killed in front of me by an Id on my last deployment. He was a mentor of mine and we were particularly close. After we put him on the helicopter, the team commander pulled me aside and told me that this isn't the last time this is going to happen. For what it's worth, he thought you were a good NCO. It was hard enough seeing him go, but somehow him thinking that I was good, that he thought I would be alright, made it hurt more. I still miss him. Edit. Fixed a typo. I wish you could just stop caring what he says. My dad, after I got the umpteenth emotionally manipulative text from my abusive ex-husband, this was over 2 years after our divorce was finalized. My dad doesn't say much on an emotional level. So when he does say something, I know it has deep meaning. I went no contact with my ex, and remain so to this day. And I'm a much happier and more serene person for it. A coworker once told me all stress is relative. You have no right to undermine what someone else is going through, no matter how small compared to your stress. I think about it a lot. He was so right. I was young and being an old. Something to always keep in mind is that two wildly different causes of stress can produce the same outcome. And just because it was caused by a smaller issue doesn't mean the stress/anxiety/depression is lesser than another's. After the birth of my first child at age 17, my aunt told me, "This is your responsibility. This child didn't ask to be here. Didn't ask for you as a mother, didn't ask for him as a father. It's going to be hard, but it's not his fault he is here." Really made me step up and try my hardest to be a good mother. I hear her voice every time I see a new story about child abuse or neglect. Edit, I get back to a gold and 2 silvers. Thank you, kind strangers. I'm so proud of you. Said to me by my swim coach after I came in last, 5 minutes after everybody else. I realized then that nobody had ever been proud of me before for something I didn't succeed in. Everybody shows pride when you succeed. When you give your best and come up short anyway, having someone still be proud of your effort means the absolute world. Last time I saw one of my friends, he told me catch you on the flip side. He hung himself a week later. Me, I don't feel brave. I feel scared. My husband, being scared and doing it anyway is brave. I needed it. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I love you. My grandma always believed in showing love, not saying it. She believed actions spoke louder than words. 4 days before she passed away, she told me she loved me. I was shocked at this, but I told her I loved her too. It was so unlike her. I now realize that maybe she said it because, with how weak she was due to the sickness, she felt like she couldn't show it. I don't know. Maybe I'll never know. But that was when I knew that she didn't have much time left. I'm proud of you and your brother. From my dad. He grew up with a conservative, religious, military household. Old school mentality of dad works and only is involved in family when it's time to discipline. I was always shy and depressed and hated disappointing him, and it came to a point when I started driving and got my car stuck in snow that I didn't want to tell him about it. When my mom told him, she made it clear his kids were afraid of him and he realized he had become his dad, which he hated. The change has been extreme, from a strict, work yourself to death, hard ass to a family guy. Told me on my wedding day that he was proud of me and my brother, because he never heard it from his dad. When I turned 18, I rebelled and became a pretty bad drug addict. It broke my parents' heart. Even after I went to rehab and cleaned up, my dad wouldn't tell me he loved me or that he was proud of me. He's ex-military and grew up with a very hard-ass alcoholic as a father. It wasn't until my husband, fiancé at the time, called him before our wedding and told him that all I ever wanted to hear was that he loved me, and that even though I spent a good chunk of my 20s fucking up, to hear he was proud of me for cleaning up, moving forward in life, and becoming successful. Since that phone call, my dad and I talk every day, and I think we tell each other that we love each other about 4 times before we end up hanging up. Today he told me I was a beautiful mother to my children. I've always held him in the highest regard. I still struggle with alcoholism, but he stays by my side and roots me on. Now, I am sure to let my kids know how proud I am of them and how much I love them. Hugs to you, Op. I feel ya. Edit. Thanks for upvoting this. Makes me not feel so alone. Edit 2.0. Thanks for the medals. If you are struggling, and need someone to talk to, call the Samaritans on 116 123. AskReddit Storytime. Please like and subscribe.